Go to your pantry right now and pick up a can of Pringles. You will notice something incredibly bizarre. The word chip is completely erased from existence. Nowhere on this can does it say potato chip. And this isn't a marketing choice. It's the result of a ruthless corporate war, a government crackdown, and a bizarre courtroom loophole that saved Procter Gamble. Today, we're looking at the multi-billion-dollar lie that you've been eating your whole life. To understand the lie, we have to go back to 1956. Traditional potato chips had a massive problem. They were sold in bags, meaning they arrived at your house crushed, greasy, and stale. Enter Procter & Gamble. They tasked a chemist named Frederick Barr to invent the perfect chip. He engineered a shape so mathematically flawless, it has a name, the hyperbolic paraboloid. It wouldn't break, and it stacked perfectly in a vacuum-sealed tube. But there was a catch. To make this perfect shape, they couldn't use real sliced potatoes. Instead, they created a Frankenstein slurry, a dehydrated potato powder mixed with corn, rice, and wheat, pressed into a dough like a cookie. When Pringles launched in 1968, they marketed themselves as the newfangled potato chip, and the traditional chip companies absolutely lost their minds. Companies like Frito-Lay were terrified. Pringles were dominating the market, so the traditional chip makers played dirty. They lobbied the US government, screaming that Pringles were a fraud. They argued you can't call a baked paste of wheat and corn a potato chip. In 1975, the FDA stepped in and dropped the hammer on Procter & Gamble. The government ruled that Pringles could only be called a chip if they added a humiliating disclaimer: potato chips made from dried potatoes. P&G refused. Instead, they completely abandoned the word chip and rebranded to potato crisps. It felt like a massive defeat, but little did the world know, this FDA ban was about to become the ultimate weapon for massive tax evasion. Fast forward to 2008. Over in the United Kingdom, the government has a strict tax law. Most food is tax-free, but luxury snacks, specifically potato chips and potato-based snacks, are hit with a brutal 17.5% value-added tax. For Pringles, a 17.5% tax meant losing tens of millions of dollars every single year. So P&G's lawyers did something unthinkable. They took the UK government to court, and their entire legal defense was arguing that their own product wasn't potato. They aggressively argued that Pringles are only 42% potato flour. They told the judge, look at them. They don't look like potatoes, they don't taste like potatoes, and they are baked from a dough. The creators of Pringles legally argued that their product was closer to a cake or a biscuit than a potato chip. And the craziest part? It worked. The UK High Court judge actually agreed. Because Pringles had artificial ingredients and a manufactured shape, they were legally classified as a savory biscuit. P&G walked away, dodging millions in taxes. Now, the UK government eventually fought back and overturned the ruling years later, forcing Pringles to pay up. But the legacy remains. The next time you pop open a can, take a good look at that flawless, saddle-shaped crisp. You're not eating a potato chip, you're eating a scientifically engineered, government-regulated, tax-evading biscuit. If you thought this corporate secret was insane, wait until you hear how Coca-Cola basically invented the modern version of Santa Claus. Comment if you want next video on this topic, and hit subscribe.